This is a collect call from a state facility. If you would like to accept the call, please press 1 now.
Yeah, cost to make for God's sakes. They raise the stakes, I'm in the pen like ink is. I got time for one call. Do I hit the fam or call my lawyer depends. Writing letters, killing time. Hit the weight, the same ish, different day. Slow growth, way better than no growth. Main goal, beat the case. You know Judge Jury, ain't no Judge Judy. This is not a movie, this is real life. I got partners doing double digits and they got real kids with a real wife. It's a real fight, both mental and physical. That's why that phone time is pivotal. It's a release from the ridicule, especially since I'ma be here for a minute too. Man, I've been reading a lot. Stay out the way, but it's hard when the people in here recognize you for beating the block. But it's okay, hold my own, and I'm locked in with bros that been locked up with me from my section. It's hot, right? And it never stops. Locked in, locked down, thinking what now? Too many days alone. Really, I ain't alone, but I can't make it home. Deep in, collect calls from the state pen. When I was out, I had great friends, but now when I call to check in, ain't tapped in. Like locked in, locked down, thinking what now? Too many days alone. Really, I ain't alone, but I can't make it home. Deep in, collect calls from the state pen. When I was out, I had great friends, but now when I call to check in, ain't tapped in. Like
Hey, this is Rob Carpenter, call from the penitentiary. We back again every week. We sitting down with an inmate from one of the state penitentiaries throughout the country, and we asking them to share their thinking, their thoughts, and their ideas. We talk about what brought them here, and then we talked about how they rehabilitate themselves and how they became very successful people inside the institution and outside the institution. Again, every week, the call from the penitentiary. Let's check out our next guest. Talked about in barbershops consistently how, oh, you know, Raheem just did 20, Malik did 15, boy, he did 5 on his head, and we hear it how they make it as is an okay thing.
No, it's not.
Right. And what I want to talk to you about is your childhood. Like, how did you wind up going to prison and doing 7 years? And because I just always tell a brother, I said, you do 7, you do 20. They all prison time.
Yeah, time is time.
Yeah, right. And 7-year experience could be worse than 20 years ago.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Depends on who you are.
That's right.
And right.
That's right.
So, growing up as a child, I want you to start at when you was a young, 6, 7, 8 years old, whatever you choose to start.
Alright.
How did you get there?
Well, this how I started. When I was younger, you know, of course, I had wound up having a stepfather. My mother's boyfriend. He was a Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
This was my baby brother's father. I ain't like the guy.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't like him. You know,
what made you not like him?
well, it just how he was. He was militant. You know, and me.
In discipline.
Yeah, you know.
Was it just a militant? Because you know Shaquille O'Neal had a militant father.
Well, it was a militant, and then you know, he wanted to come in the house and come in our house, you know, and like take control. You know, we don't even know who this joker is. You know.
Was he abusive?
He had some abusive ways. You know that. You know, of course, you know, me not liking it because he wasn't my father.
Right.
You know, he wasn't my father.
Okay. So it wasn't more that he came in and he was beating on y'all, or he was beating on your mother. It was more so you.
Well, they would have arguments and things like that, and then it was things that I saw that he would do to her.
Was it physical?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and then
the reason I asked you that because I'm trying to identify what made this trigger into you being a youth and growing up.
Well, what happened was my baby brother's father, you know, he would get drunk. When he get drunk, he go crazy. Like you know, he lose his mind a little bit there.
Right.
And one day, you know, he went all off and he busted busted out all the windows in the house.
Wow.
You know, he had a shotgun. You know, I remember that. You know, I ain't forgot that. You know,
That was intimidating as a young kid.
of course, because you know, as a young kid, first thing coming to your mind is, you know, that's my mother. I gotta protect my mother.
Right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Any young boy that love his mother gonna protect his mama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and that was the main thing that was on my mind, is protecting my mother.
Right.
You know.
All right. So how did your life of crime start? Like, was it a short life of crime? Because, you know, I got guys who went out, got in the game, got knocked off, and got 10 years. Wasn't in the game no longer than a year.
Well, mine became rebellious because of the simple fact that, you know, like I said, you know, my baby brother, you know, father, you know, you want to come in, you want to try to, you know, take control, tell us what to do. Like, you know, he's in charge of everything, you know, and, you know, me being a young man, you know, growing up in society, you know, I'm used to my mother and my grandmother and them telling me what to do.
Right,
you know, here this is, man, I don't even know, you know, you want to come in my household and tell me what to do. You know, I ain't feeling them like that.
Okay, so let's fast forward it. When you first got incarcerated, right? You know, one thing we do here at the call of the penitentiary, we talk about that call.
Yeah.
Like, who was your call to?
My call was to my mother.
Okay.
My call was to
How
my
did that go? How did that go? Let's break that down.
Well, the funny thing is, being that I was rebellious, right? My mother was the one who put me there.
Oh. So she incarcerated you as a juvenile?
Yeah, because, you know, I was out of control.
Right. Do you think? Wow. So it wasn't even though your first call wasn't to your mother, it wasn't that first call like you slipped up, got caught out.
Yeah.
She called. Your mother already knew.
Well, that's because of the simple fact that my mother was rebellious and hard-headed to my grandmother, her mother.
Right.
So my mother did 5 joints at that time it's called Stay Home for Girls.
So Mom Dukes did 5 years down the penitentiary.
Yeah, Mom did 5 joints. She was pregnant with my oldest brother.
So your brother was a prison baby.
Yeah, my brother was born in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, my mother went to prison, pregnant, gave birth to my brother. Then my mother called home, told my mother. Well, my mother called home, told my grandmother that she had the baby. My grandmother went to the prison, signed the papers, you know, and got my oldest brother, took him home, raised him, you know, while she was in prison.
Wow. How old was you at that time, your mommy?
I had to be no more than about like maybe in between 10 to 13.
Now, that's a powerful age, because that's when you gravitate into your manhood.
Yeah.
Mom Dukes is your life, your heart.
Yeah.
And you're watching her incarcerated.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Did you go on visits to go see her?
Well, my uncles and my family and them, you know, they took us to see her.
Okay.
You know.
Let's look into that. How was your mindset walking into that prison institution?
Well,
visiting not your dad, but visiting your mother.
Well, of course, you know, it's a painful situation for any child that got to go to the prison.
Right.
You know, to see his mother or his father, or any relative, period.
Right.
You know, especially the one that they love.
But it's different.
Yeah, it is a big difference.
When you talk about Mom Dukes.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Mom Dukes is the pride and joy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when you see your mom's coming to the visit hall, and she's walking over to you, and you know, you sitting on the bench or you sitting in the play area down the prison, they create play area.
Yeah.
Like, what was your experience? Like, what was your?
Well, it was emotional, you know, hurtful, painful. I felt like, you know, I let my moms down in a lot of ways, you know, but there's so many things that was going through my mind, man, you know, at the time.
So this is before you went to, before she put you in the into the youth house?
Yeah.
Or just before you even got into
Yeah.
So, you didn't have your dad there.
Nope.
Your mom's incarcerated.
Yep.
You between 10 and 13.
Yeah.
Between 5th grade and 8th grade.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everything is a sponge, you sucking on everything.
Yeah.
And if the great goddess is not there, you're going to wind up into the
Yeah.
Wow. And you had how many brothers?
In all, it was like 12 of us.
Right. How many brothers?
12.
12 brothers?
Yeah.
How many went to prison?
1, 3.
3 went to prison.
Yeah.
Wow. So now you're watching moms in the prison system and listening to you. Mom deuces your life.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. She's like, you the oldest.
No, I'm not the oldest. I'm like what they call mid.
In the middle. Oh,
yeah.
middle child.
Yeah.
But you at an age where you really needed that guidance.
Yeah, I really did. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Well, the brother who's younger than you didn't understand.
Yeah.
And the brother older than you was already mature enough to help.
He was doing his own thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
You know, well, they were doing their own thing.
Wow.
You know.
So when she came home and she saw you wilding, I already know you, so I know. She seen you wilding, I seen you wilding.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about what was your crime.
Alright. At that time, my crime was attempted murder.
Okay.
Attempted murder, I was facing 4 counts of malicious assault, 1 count of attempted murder.
And you ain't got to get into the crime because that ain't what we here for.
Okay.
But I just want to hear people hear your story.
Yeah.
Because there's a good ending to your story that I know about that I want to share with the world. And that's why we're here.
Yeah, yes sir.
So when you got incarcerated for attempted murder and they sent you down Northern State Broadway?
No, my first spot, you know, of course you already know how you got to go through the transformation.
Right.
Essex County, you know, then you go to Yardsville, Annandale. Then I went to Caldwell, and then I went to the big house.
Right.
You know, we call Northern State the big house too. You know what I'm saying?
But you went to Broadway.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, while I was going through my transformation time and all this and that, you know, while I was in there, you know, I got enrolled into this program called Scared Straight.
Okay.
During that time, which they need to bring that back.
Right.
We really need that back in the prison systems.
And Scared, I went through Scared Straight.
Yeah.
Scared Straight. I went through Scared Straight not as an inmate. I went through Scared Straight as an individual, young kid in high school, because I had just hit a kid up, and they sent me. I was 9th or 10th grade.
Wow.
I had hit a kid up like 10, 13 times. And they sent me to Scared Straight.
Yeah.
So we went down Scared Straight. I remember the young brother with the one eye.
Yeah.
Couple guys and they was trying to scare us.
That joker, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. He was the truth.
Yeah.
He was the truth. Him and his other brother, you know, that I don't even think he's still alive. You know, it was another brother, you know.
It was one brother who had a half pinky.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he kept poking me.
Yeah.
And and he had arms.
Yes, like a mountain.
Yeah, like his arms was like wide as my body.
Yes, sir, bro.
And I remember this.
Yes,
I was in 9th, 10th grade, and they sent me down because I got threw out of Weekway High School for hitting the kid like 13 times, and they told me I could never get. They sent me over.
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
And that's when the state prisons had programs to rehabilitate our brothers.
Yes, sir.
You can go to college.
Yes.
You can get a trade.
Yes.
And which they don't have anymore.
They don't have none of that in there now.
And not that we're pushing for all these trades. What we're really pushing for is the brothers to stay out of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you get down Broadway Prison, and what was some of the things that just woke you up?
Well,
Because it had to be at that point. You like
I started seeing, you know, jokers that's down there that's lifeless, that would never ever see the outside.
Right.
They would die in the prison. Most of them would be buried in the back of the prison.
Right.
You know, I saw that, you know, that just wasn't the place.
Right.
You know, like, you know, I seen jokers get shanked up. I seen jokers die in there.
Did your mom ever come visit you down in prison?
Of course she did, you know, all the way up until, you know, she started getting sickly. She came to visit all of us, all my brothers and us, you know, in the prisons. Until she started getting sickly, then that way, you know, health started failing her, and then she wasn't really able to do it as much.
So now the reverse changed.
Yes.
The role changed.
Yes.
Your mother come to see you when you came to see your mother. What was the conversations when she came?
Well, the conversation was like, you know, this wasn't a place that she would want, you know, to see, you know, me in. You know, she did, you know, what was right to save my life, to make changes in my life. It was painful and hurtful for her to even have to come and see me in a place like that.
Because she wanted more for her kids.
Yeah, of course.
She experienced it.
Yes. You know, being a poor black woman, you know, trying to raise all those kids, you know, it's very difficult, hard on her, but, you know.
Especially with no father.
Yeah, she did the best of what she could.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I want to talk about what I've learned about you. I'm always on your Instagram. You know, you're a clothes man. You like hats. If you go to what's your tag on Instagram?
Sanders Mustafa.
If you go to Sanders Mustafa, he's going to show you the shoe game. He's going to show you the blazer game, the sock game. Like the other day, you popped some socks. You know me, I always hit you and be like, yo, where you get them socks from?
Yes, sir.
And he ain't no little guy. So
don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Girls, they love them big boys. And the big boys can throw it off, so don't get this twisted.
And you always sharp. You always clean and you always sharp. I don't care what you got on. And I always look because me and you always
Yeah.
And but you took that talent and turned it into a hustle.
Well, the thing is, it's like this. When I was growing up, you know, I was a hustler in the game, doing what I was doing, whatever. You know, I was making money. So I used to watch the OGs, you know, in my community. You know, how they dress, how they carry themselves, how they move in the streets. You know, that in itself, you know, made me want to be, you know, who I am. You know, but being who I am, with other things behind that, becoming religious, you know, don't get me twisted. I knew Islam on the outside out here, but by me growing up the way I grew up, went through what I went through, you know, I wasn't practicing my Islam really like I should have been practicing my Islam. What made me get even more closer to my Islam, as far as we say today, my deen, was when I went inside. So I was already Muslim on the outside, but I was out here wilding, doing things I shouldn't have been doing.
So you didn't convert to Islam?
No, sir. No, sir.
Because a lot of brothers go the way.
Yeah.
And
I've seen that happen a lot of times while I was in there. You know, cats take their shahada while they're in there. But also, you got to remember too now, you got cats in there that take that shahada just so they have that protection.
Okay. So they can be with that movement of brothers.
Yeah.
Who's not going to allow them to be
exactly
to meet people.
Exactly. I see that a lot. That's happening in the prisons. You know, nowadays today. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Also, you know, cats play on the weak.
Right.
You know, and when I say play on the weak, what I mean by that is like, say, he see, you know, that brother where, you know, he don't have that support.
Right.
So, for him to keep his books tight, he make a deal with him. Look, man, you know, if you do this, you know, I'll do that.
Right.
You know, that's how they, you know, make their hustles. They do their hustles and things like that in prison.
Right.
Then 9 times out of 10, well, what I'm happening is, you know, a cat want to take a shower now. You know, so you get that protection.
Right.
You know, and that's what they do. It's all the little tricks and the, you know, the little gimmicks and, you know, all that type of little crazy stuff that they do, you know, to you know, get what you call compensatory.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know, they can't do it with the money, but they have the connections on the outside where they can make them calls.
Right.
You know, to be able to get the money, you know, wide over to old boy.
Yeah, because the Muslims are not gonna allow you to.
No.
We're not. I don't, even if you're weak, we're not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're not having that. We're not having that, man.
Yeah.
You know, we believe in standing up for what's right, man. You know, even if you got to stand alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the main thing is you know, not allowing no one to take advantage of a brother.
Right.
You know, in there, anything like that.
And you know, that's some of the things, you know, I talk about in the call from the penitentiary. Like my call out to the brothers in the prison system is to stop using our young brothers when they come inside, and to start putting books in their hands and start educating them. And that's one thing I loved about the Muslim brothers that I didn't see from the Christian brothers. I see the Muslim brothers used to pull a brother in, give him the Quran, give him hadith, teach him how to pray, and would just teach him how to eat, and would just kind of like try to raise him up out of that sickness that he was in.
Yeah, well, Islam teaches us that, you know, you lead by example. You know, leading by example is, you know, one is the 5 salats. You know, you got Fajr, you know, you got Thor, you got Asa, you got McBray, you got Isha. Also, you know, you're supposed to study.
Right.
Also, it helps you in learning how to be patient, be humble, be focused, get close to your Creator,
and make you a better person.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I've learned. As a believer man, I've learned. I've read the Torah,
Alhamdulillah.
The Gospel of Jesus,
Alhamdulillah.
and the Quran. And one of the things the reason I read these 3 books because growing up in the community that we grew up in, watching our peers, I mean, man, I can count on 2 hands, maybe 3, of how many brothers that's incarcerated for 30 or more years. And when I wrote my book on mass incarceration, I thought about you, Akbar Pray, Altari Watson, Shahad. I talk about my man Shay Mills, he home. Talk about Hawk. I can talk about. Then I deal with brothers that I thought should have been down that prison because they was massive. They was menace to our society, and they was mass killers and murderers. And we wouldn't speak about it because we didn't want that headache. Right. But we knew that they was doing things that was harmful to our.
But also, don't get me misunderstood. He just sleep. You got a lot of brothers right now, man, sitting in the penitentiary that shouldn't be there.
Oh yeah. No, I totally agree.
You know,
like when I think about Akbar Pray, Akbar Pray was incarcerated for a drug offense. And he's been down there for a life sentence.
But the thing about with that is that they really don't have nothing against him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all based on what they call I say conspiracy.
Right. But to move forward onto your story, after you made that phone call and your mom was talking to you on the phone, that call from the penitentiary.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say to her?
Well, you know, first thing I said to my mother, you know what I'm saying, is that I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing I said to my mother is, Mom, I'm sorry that, you know, I let you down.
Right.
You know, and then the last thing, you know, I said to my mother was that, you know, I'm gonna make change.
Okay, so after you did that, you came home, start building your business.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing you out here hustling, you getting money.
Yeah.
Right. What inspired you to be the man that you are now?
Well, I'm glad you said that, because when I went away, I had 3 oldest daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that was painful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being a father that didn't have his father there.
Right.
And then, you know, I leave behind three oldest girls.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I wasn't there for them like I really wanted to be there for them.
Right.
You know, that was painful, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, at their age, you know, being young kids, you know, they needed me.
Right.
You know? And I kind of felt them in a sense too.
You know what's so crazy that you said that? You touched my heart on that, because you remember, you know, I lost a son.
Yeah, man.
My son was murdered.
Yeah, that was that, man.
And
it's crazy.
in my head, I should, you know, say, you know, what I was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I was walking out the house, and my daughter said to me, she said, Daddy, if you go to jail or you die in the street, she said, we're going to take care of me.
Yeah, man, cause see, listen, I say to any brother that's behind that wall, you know, doing time, if you got daughter, son out there, you know,
it has to be painful.
You're not no good to your child, you know, being away. You more of a good to your child being out here. Your child needs you more out here than in there.
Right.
You know, and I always remind myself of this, you know, every day of my life that Allah spares my life. You know, I try to keep that in my mind, you know, that my children, you know, they need me out here.
Right.
You know, I'm no good for them. I can't do nothing for them.
Right.
You know, being behind the wall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't even do nothing for myself.
That was my 13th. At that time she was 9. And I was walking out the house, and she said, Daddy, we're going to take care of me. And so when you said that, it touched my spirit.
Yeah, man.
I was praying, and I was on the Masala, and I was talking, and the imam said to me, he said, you got to forgive him. And he said, let God have him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had friends who were shooters, and they would come around me and say, man, let's put this work in, I got you. He said, they would come around with 100 rounds.
I know.
I'm ready.
I know the story, baby.
And I was like, nah, I gotta be here for my daughter. And I said, plus you got a daughter.
Yeah, man.
And as much pain I was going through, when you said what you just said, it brought me back. It was yesterday.
It was a reflection.
To like, because it only take a black man, it only take us 5 minutes.
Not even 5 minutes. Take just one second.
1 second for us to lose our life. Because when we come into the prison system, there's no mercy.
Yes, sir.
Everything is 30.
Yes, sir.
30.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's none of that.
Yes, sir.
You know. So I get it. So I'm going to talk about this though, and then I want you to share something with these young bucks out here, because when I started this show, my goals was to talk to brothers like you, and that's why I had you on that list.
Yeah.
Because I knew you had a brother who was facing life at one time and wound up getting 20 years, which was alhamdulillah. Because I remember when you first told me in the barbershop, like, and not only that, my cousin Jermaine, that was his man. He called me and said, yo, my man might not never come home. And he was hurt. And And then,
well, it was, well, you know, they was trying to throw the book at.
I know. And then I was looking at you and where you was at in your life.
Yeah.
And how you was getting yourself together.
Yeah.
And how you was trying to help the young homies out there.
Well, I appreciate you giving me an opportunity, which I'm still trying to do it. You know, haven't got the chance, opportunity, you know, to really do it the way that I want to do it. But, you know, inshallah, it happened.
Yeah, but that's how we evolve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I wanted to create this space because I wanted to give brothers like you and brothers who got life in prison a voice to the world to change what's going on in our community. See, because the strength of the black man is incarcerated.
Yes, sir.
See, people don't really look at it. The brothers who took those opportunities and took those chances to get things for their families, they wasn't cowards or trying to take the shortcut. They took the cut they only knew.
Yes, sir.
They took the path they only knew.
Yes, sir.
And so I did it. You did it.
Yeah.
We can name everybody we grew up did it. We all hustled.
Yeah.
And we was taking chances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's kind of ironic that you said that because, you know, I laugh, just chuckle a little bit on it. You know, my 3 oldest girls, they asked me a question. They said, Dad, you know, how did you take care of us? And I just said to them, I just did the best that I could.
Right.
Because that was the only way that I knew at the time, bro.
Well, I want you to look into this camera, right? Before we shut it down. And I want you to share to the young brothers and the brothers that got life in prison on how you feel that we can make change for our community.
Well, as they always say, you know, old school talk, you know, it take a village to raise a nation. To the young brothers, to the young girls that's out there, change has to come first in self. Self means getting close to whatever your religious belief may be. That's first. And then from there, you know, you gotta, you know, be willing to make change, you know, in your life. You know, by taking steps. Steps means like if you gotta get counseling, you know, or you know, you need somebody, you know, to talk to, whatever it is, you do what you gotta do, you know. Long as it's making change for you. As far as like on a level of what we gotta do, we gotta take this thing back to the way that it used to be. When I was growing up in my community, of course, you know, I was still, you know, hard-headed, rebellious, and this, that, and other. But there was brothers that was in the community that always would pull my jacket, such as Salih, you know, such as Ibn Suleiman. You know, I could name many brothers that was there. They would always pull my jacket, you know, talk to me, hey, Dig, man, you know, don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Not that I wasn't listening. I was listening, but I was just being rebellious, being hard-headed, just want to do whatever I wanted to do, which wound up costing me, you know, being away. But the thing is that for the brothers that's behind them walls, man, do what y'all got to do, man. You know, because your children, your nieces, your nephews, your daughters, your sons, they need you out here right now, man. You know, it's a war going on outside, you know. As Marvin Gaye said, you know, what's going on, you know. As you look out there every day of your life that Allah bless you, live to see your life, you know, you see what's happening, man. You know, we already going through, you know, what we going through out here, you know, the murderings, the shootings, you know, this, that, and other, you know. We need y'all brothers to get out here, man, and help fight this, you know, war with us, man. Make change, man. Make changes and be about, you know, doing the right thing and want to do the right thing, man, to help the next generation that's coming ahead of us.
Okay. Hey, we here again. I got my man, Mustafa Abdul Sanders, and I wanted to let you know the brothers down in the prison system As the Black Lives Matters make they move, we got to protest in those prison systems. You brothers who got life, who may not have opportunity to ever come home, you got to change your life in the prison system and try to change somebody else's life so when they come home, they can make changes in our community. We want to give you voice, so if you want to holler at us, you can subscribe, or you can get the address below, write me a letter. You can even call into the show and have conversation if you're a lifer or you got 30 years or more. I want to hear your story, and I want other young brothers to hear your story and talk about how we can make change. Once again, this is